Hi everyone, today we are talking about 200 press-ups every day for 200 days. No weights allowed. What would the results be? Would they be good enough? Would you be strong enough? Would there be any physical change? All of those answers are in this video. So, back to the beginning. 200 days ago, I started doing a few push-ups. It wasn't for some crazy YouTube challenge, and it certainly wasn't so I could come back and make this video. The truth of it, my priorities had changed in what I was training for, and I had to shift around what I was doing at the gym. Last year I had signed up to a collection of running races, OCRs and adventure runs throughout the year, and at the end of the year, some high rocks, sort of hybrid fitness events. So as the year knocked on and all my runs got done, I needed to concentrate more on conditioning and cardio and the exercises that are involved on the day. For high rocks, it's a hybrid running and exercise combination, and as a result you need to be in relatively good physical shape, and I mean from a conditioning perspective you need to be good. This meant that my traditional weighted sessions, my weight training sessions on say a Monday, Wednesday, Friday or a Tuesday, Thursday in my case, they had to be shuffled around, and ultimately something had to give and be taken out of the equation. Now, since the chest isn't massively used at the high rocks events, that was an obvious choice to drop from sort of my rota, if you will. So here we are making a new video about it. Before we get into any of that stuff, let me quickly tell you about the original motive for starting. These daily push-ups were actually off the back of one of my goals. That goal was to go to the October High Rocks event without a shirt on. Now that sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? When I say it out loud it sounds a bit weird, but the previous High Rocks event I'd done, I'd seen all of these really fit looking men running around this event, confident, and they looked fantastic, and it was something to aspire towards. So I thought to myself, would I ever be confident enough in myself at 42 years old to run around this event for an hour, whatever, with my shirt off? So at that point, after that first event, I made the conscious decision that that would be one of my goals. So coming back to the fact that my chest session had been dropped off my gym time, I needed to address the fact that my chest was no longer getting worked. And over a little bit of time I noticed everything up top was getting a little bit soft. A tiny little bit lower, and just a little bit, it just didn't look as good as it might have done when I used to do like bench press and whatnot. Everything just seemed underdeveloped and soft. And the last thing I wanted to do on race day was to run around this event with me man boobs flopping around all over the place. So how did I start? Well, I can tell you for nothing, I did not start on 200 a day. If you go straight into that sort of volume, you likely hurt yourself, pull a muscle or worse. I started off with doing 5 sets of 10, with a little gap between each one to recover. It's quite a manageable amount for most fit men, and you can just crank through it, and I would do it before bedtime. Literally do my last set, put my pyjamas on, straight into bed. As time went on, I moved sort of 50 at night and then did another 50 in the morning, and I was doing them in sets of 25 by this point, and further, naturally, I increased it to 100 in the morning and 100 in the evening. I didn't always want to do it, but I made myself do it. I would occasionally test myself to see sort of max reps, and I would be somewhere in the sort of 40-50 range before it started to fatigue. We should probably address the sort of push-ups that I'm doing. Now, I've done all sorts of push-ups. The majority are just straight up flat push-ups, arms up sort of 45 degrees and done like that. Occasionally when I'm either aching or sore in the muscles or the joints, I would do one of the variants. So you could, if you want to make it a little bit harder, you can do diamond press-ups. If you want to make it a little bit easier, you can do narrow press-ups. If you want to make it super hard and sort of showy offy, then do the jumping clap push-ups, okay? People always assume that because it's a bodyweight exercise that you are, in essence, chest pressing your body weight. But that's not necessarily the truth. Because your feet are on the ground, that takes a good proportion of the weight. I've just used the scales, put my hands on the scales and got into the push-up position. My body weight is 78 kilos. It's 55 kilograms on the scale. If you need something to assist you with the push-ups in terms of tracking and counting and making sure that your form is right, I downloaded one called Push-Ups Workout. It's a great little app. It's free, it's available on the iStore and the Play Store, and all you do is you download it, you open it, you press the practice button, you put the phone sort of face up on the floor, and with each rep you touch your nose or get your nose close to the phone, it detects you and counts 1, 2, 3 and so forth. And then it will record it over time as well each day. Really recommend that. So after about 6 weeks, I noticed the bulk and firmness returning to my chest. The man muscle cleavage, sort of the most obvious part of it, started to get a lot more defined. In parallel to my push-ups, I had overhauled my diet. I was doing 16/8 fasting, I was taking lots of protein in, everything was just coming together. My body fat was reducing, and as it reduced, everything became more visible. They don't have to be bigger if they're more visible, you can just see them. In addition, I noticed that while you're in the push-up position, that you're essentially in the plank position. This means that every second you are spent like this, your abs are engaged, and as a result of doing your push-ups, you will notice a certain amount of ab development. Now, as a 42-year-old man, seeing your abs getting better with each passing day is like winning the freaking jackpot. It really is. By the time I'd got to my event in October, I had rather pumped, rather good looking set of man boobs. My pecs were really good, shaving my chest, everything was looking great. And I was really quite chuffed at what I'd achieved, without any weight certainly, and doing it all at home. Was it all worth it? The short answer is yes. In the absence of chest exercises at the gym, being regimented about doing push-ups really did make a difference. I went from sort of soft and flat and a bit unshapely to being quite well defined and have enough to be proud of. Obviously, if you want to be specifically strong, if you want your chest to be out here, if you want it to be massive and distorted and weird like bodybuilders, then sure, you're going to have to go back to the weight benches, you're going to have to go back to the chest press, and you're going to have to do all of that. For me, I'm in a stage of sort of hybrid fitness at the moment, and I'm sort of balancing my time in the gym versus what I can achieve at home. If I can sort of mesh them all together to make some kind of decent human body, then that is swell. At 42, having sort of a well-toned chest that I'm not embarrassed about in those sort of shirt-off moments of life, the beach, the swimming pool, fitness competitions, well then that just makes those moments just that much more confident. It is all worth it. Anyway, please give the channel a subscribe. Come back, I'm going to be making a lot more of these fitness videos over the next month or so. I very much appreciate the support. I appreciate you watching, and if I can, you can. Mart out.